Hi guys, Franzen here, welcome back to another episode of Knights of Dragons. Today I'm going to show you how this deck actually got people rage quitting over it. So I'm going to show you a loss at first, and then I will show you some victories after it. So let's see, what shall I do? I think this one was the better one. So Wizard isn't the best deck you can go against up here, so let's just put it ×4. So yeah, he was placing his bomber, blah blah blah, I was going with the witch. And yeah, here comes the Giants going down quite hard, and he has a push against me now, and I didn't have anything at the time. I just had the zap and blah blah blah. I thought she was getting some hits in the Valkyrie, but she actually didn't. And yeah, Minipacker goes down to a level 3 wizard. He's also level 7, this guy, but still pushing on both lanes. That was what this guy was doing, and he did it quite well. This deck was still used with the Goblin Barrel, by the way. And yeah, I got some hits in over there, but the Valkyrie decided to shut the push down. Minion Horde going over there. Valkyrie gets up over there. I get some hits in on both towers. I was trying to get the Valkyrie to the Giant, but apparently it didn't work because she was already locked on into the tower. Minipacker goes down on the right side, and yeah, he just is going to push on both lanes. I really like the way he did that. So arrows on the Minion Horde, of course. He comes with the Wizard, and here I don't know what to do because he decides to push on both lanes. So I decided to pull out the Wizard and just give myself the right tower gone, you know, and shit like that. So here I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Because there's too many things going on here. And he decided to laugh, and I was like, you know, you really are a piece of shit if you just do that, you know. So that's what actually happened here. He decided to push in 2 lanes, and that's what actually happened. And didn't really work out for me at the time. So after this, I decided to switch up my there were 2 other battles, and after this I decided, before I went on a losing spree again, I decided to put out the Goblin Barrel for the Musketeer. And then look what happened. This was a draw, so no, let's not take a look at that. So this is what actually happened after it. I'm not sure if this is the guy that actually decided to rage quit or decided to stop. So yeah, he puts down his Elixir Collector, and I put down my Giants, or getting ready for my first push already. I'm not waiting. I'm never waiting. I don't like waiting. So Muskie and Wizard do quite some damage to the Valkyrie. Valkyrie goes down. Giant goes down, gets 1 hit in. And yeah, now he's going to push back. I'm not sure how to deal with this, so I just decided to do all I did right there. So Skelly Army gets in there, the Larry Army, and Valkyrie and Muskie take it down quite easily. So before I actually... yeah, so Minipacker getting some damage in. Yeah, and here's where he got his first tower down. Minipacker goes down. So he decided to wait for 10 elixir again. He didn't know, or I thought he didn't know that I had a Giant yet. So I was trying to push on both lanes here, but didn't really work out. So he almost got my second tower down as well. But he got shut down right after it. So here is where actually things started to get a little crazy. So he's at 10 elixir, but he doesn't do jack shit. I'm not sure what he did here, but I can look at how fast this goes. Did he decide to rage quit or whatever? Did he just give up? Because it didn't say opponent left the match. So I got the 3-crown victory after all. Got 30 trophies or 29, not really sure, don't really care. And yeah, that's also this guy. This guy was pretty damn savage, because what he actually did was put down the Elixir Collector straight away, put down the Goblin Hut straight away, not really worrying about his Elixir. I decided to push with the Wizard over there, or the Witch, sorry, and then got a little distraction going on over there. And yeah, so the left tower already went down to that, and I got some hits in. So Zap and Muskie take down that balloon on the right side. Muskie is going ham, or isn't really going ham, but got 1 hit in on the damn right tower. So yeah, he's not showing what to do right now, because I already had this left tower, and he decides to not do anything as well. And also doesn't show that he left the match. So I just decided, you know what, fuck it. Put down everything I can. Let's get this win as fast as possible. Did he rage quit? I'm not sure, but he just didn't do anything anymore. He was going too fast with his elixir at first. That's where he went wrong. So is this a rage quit, or is this just... I don't know. So here we got El Bolero. So this guy already had a Royal Giant, and I was pretty damn scared when I saw that, until I saw it was level 1. So that was quite a good thing for me. So yeah, I decided to go with the Wizard again. Oh, there he goes, or she goes. Royal Giant, level 1. First time I've gone up against Royal Giant. But then I saw, after he put down the Knight, here, so he puts down the Knight, and then here I was like, alright, so I can just put my Skelly army down, because he doesn't have anything to counter that with. But I still have those two pushing against him, so I'm not going to do anything just yet. Here comes the Valkyrie, just right in the middle of that army, and yeah. So she decides to go on the Giant, of course, because that's my tank, and yeah, here's where things start to get a little rough for him, because I got everything down. Mini P.E.K.K.A is going ham now as well. You know, he got in between it. Mini P.E.K.K.A, there he goes. 1 hit in, 2 hits in, 3 hits in. He got 3 hits in, and look at how fast the tower went down. And he couldn't do anything against me. He was gone. He was gone. So let's look at that match again. But this time in, I think, maybe a little slower. At the end, of course, because he wanted to push me back. He literally wanted to push me back. But after I got my push in with the Giant and everything, the Giant up front, after you can see here, the Giant went up front. And yeah, here I got the Mini P.E.K.K.A in, and here's, as you can see, what actually happened. So the Witch takes down the Minion Horde. Minion Horde almost takes down the Giant. But the Mini P.E.K.K.A goes up in front and actually gets 3 hits in. And as you can see, the Giant's still alive, and so they can actually do some hits as well. Skelly's also doing some lovely work. Giant gets 1 hit in. And yeah, before he actually knew it was already too late what was going to happen. Because the Muskie wasn't really paying attention to anything besides the Skellies. And when he focused on the Witch, that was already down. So as you can see, this deck is pretty damn good. I mean, if I can play with it, you can play with it as well. And yeah. So, did they rage quit? I'm not sure. There were also more people, but I can't show that anymore, unfortunately, that decided to rage quit, apparently. And guys, hope you all enjoyed this episode here. You can copy this deck if you want to. It's Giant, Witch, Zap, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Musketeer, Skelly army, Minion Horde, and Arrows. So, apparently, the Giant and the Witch are a very good combo, because the Giant goes up front, you know, and when a Skelly army is dropped or something, all you have to do is just put the Witch behind him, and just the Witch takes down everything, you know, without them getting too much hits in. If you just pull her close behind the Giant, of course, because otherwise she has to walk, and then she's lazy, you know, she doesn't walk fast and shit as that. So the lightning, or the zap, it's not lightning, it's the zap, stuns, of course. And what I actually do with it is try to zap minion hordes with it instead of the arrows. The arrows I use for when multiple troops are dropped, such as minions and minion hordes and goblins at the same time, you know, just for more small troops than the minion horde, because many people actually played minion horde lately, even me, as you can see, because I already do it as well. So the P.E.K.K.A is just there to get some extra damage in, you know. She's a slow hitter but a very hard hitter. I mean, I always choose her above the regular P.E.K.K.A, and that is for good reason. So the Muskie I actually decided to put in for the Goblin instead of the Goblin Barrel, because the Goblin Barrel was actually quite bad after this, and the Muskie, I just decided to go with the Muskie, see what I can do. And my guys actually told me, like, hey, if you get down a Giant, Witch, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Musketeer push, as you guys saw in last video, or in last recap, just the last battle that I did, that was the exact same push that I had, and that is pretty much unstoppable, you know, because everybody is going to focus on the Giant, and the Muskie and the Witch will take down everything that's getting some damage in on the Giants, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A just there to go ham behind the Giant and then go up front, as you guys saw in the last battle. So the Skellies are just there to, like, counter tanks such as Royal Giants, for at least for this deck, of course. Sometimes you put them just down to get the arrows out, you know. that's what I actually did. I was waiting for a guy because he had arrows and zap. So I was waiting until he used his arrows on my Skelly army. So I just decided to go with the Skelly army on the right, you know, and he went with the arrows on there. And then I decided to put my minion horde behind it after the arrows were down, of course. So that was quite easy for me to actually get the minion horde in because Skelly army was taking the arrows. So yeah, the zap didn't really, I didn't even think he had that. But the arrows, like I said, are just there to get multiple small troops gone. They're level 7, so it's quite easy. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode here. So if you want to copy this deck, you can do it. It's a really good deck if you know how to play with it. I apparently know how to play with it. It got me to 1900 trophies from, let's see, I think it was like 1800 something. Yeah, this deck got me from 1700 something, 1746 to 1924. So guys, hope you all enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did, and I hope to see you again next time.